Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm trying to see if I could do another reaction video. You guys know I liked it Hawk so much. I did very well with my YouTube channel, watching people watching a man called Hawk on my channel. So I found a video that I want to do a reaction on why Hawk didn't last. I just want to give my uh, opinion on it as the video plays. So we're gonna get right into it. And I hope it's still here where I can play it. So you guys can get sorry, excuse me. So you guys could get oh man, something else. So you guys could get a little sorry. So you guys could get a little uh reaction on how I feel about a man called Hawk. So and they saying, this guy was saying why it didn't last. So I'm gonna play it and let's see if we can play it. Oh. See if I can find it. I hope I'm not messing this up. I'm trying to find it. Let's see. This is it. Actually, it's probably gone now. I always can't seem to have this problem in doing the video I want to do. For some reason now it's not here. Let's see. Okay, guys, I think I got it now.
It barely lasts a season. Let's find out.
Okay,
this
let's
is the
go.
history of a man called Hawk.
Now I'm just going to give you guys my reaction on it.
When Spencer for Hire was winding down, one thing was clear: audiences couldn't get enough of Hawk. His popularity made the next step almost inevitable. Give him his own series, his own stories, and even his own city. At Avery Brooks's request, Hawk was pulled out of Boston's alleyways and dropped into the streets of Washington, D.C.
And that's exactly what happened, what he's saying. But we're going to listen to him and he's going to tell you why a man called Hawk didn't last. And I'm just going to give you my opinion on it. And because I was a Hawks fan, as you can see, my channel is a lot to do with a man called Hawk, which I did very good reviews on. So we're going to listen to what this guy got to say. Let's go.
The new setting was more than cosmetic. It shifted the tone, the stakes, and the cultural heartbeat of the show. Hawk wasn't Spencer's backup anymore. He was the main event. Brooks framed Hawk as a mythic black hero whose presence in Washington, D.C. gave the series both cultural identity and political weight. The plan was always to keep Hawk shrouded in mystery. To keep the show authentic, writer and poet Calvin C. Herndon was hired as cultural advisor.
And this guy was a really good guy. He was an advisor. He helped write the scripts for Hawk. And, he was good. He's definitely good. Working with Avery Brooks. His name is not Hawk, it's Avery Brooks. His character was Hawk. So let's go.
Worked with the team to ensure Hawk's worldview avoided stereotypes while still resonating with audiences. Avery Brooks stressed early on that being the lead didn't automatically grant him creative control. He pointed out that network stars were often more figureheads than decision makers, and that this was especially true for a black actor in primetime television.
He's correct. He's correct. He's 100% right. Let's go.
why he pushed to shape Hawk's setting, philosophy, and presence, not to build a vanity project, but to give the character real cultural weight. For Avery Brooks, stepping into A Man Called Hawk meant defining the character on his own terms. He described Hawk as a handsome, powerful, and spiritual African-American man.
And he was. I believe he was great. He was a great influencer to people growing up watching him. He's a great influence to me. I enjoyed his shows, his videos. I have all of them on my channel. So if you guys look on my channel, you'll see that I have all his videos. So I liked his car. I liked the respect he gave women. I liked how he handled himself with people. So far, this guy is 100% right. But, he wrote here, failure of A Man Called Hawk and too much soul for network TV. So we're going to still hear what he has to say. Let's go.
Wise, disciplined, and cultured. Brooks also helped define the sound. He co-composed the main theme with Stanley Clarke and Lawrence Morris, who handled much of the show's score. Supporting Hawk was Old Man, played by Moses Gunn, a recurring...
Moses Gunn, very good actor. He did a lot of shows. I believe he was in Across 110th Street. He did a lot of different old shows. I think he was in Cotton Comes to Harlem too, if I remember. Very good actor. And Avery Brooks picked the best actors, the people that he liked it, that he knew would try to make the show as great as it was. So let's go.
Character from Hawk's past who appears throughout the series. Angela Bassett appears in the pilot as Bailey Webster.
Angela Bassett, he picked her too because she was a great actress, a young actress just coming up. She wasn't that young, but she was young and, maybe in her 30s at the time. And he picked it out to be in his episode because she was a great supporting actor, and she did well working with Avery Brooks. So that was good that he picked her, and he picked the people that he wanted in his show, in his TV series in 1989. Let's go.
Webster, a school teacher who asks Hawk for help with one of her students. The show's 13-episode run included a long list of guest appearances from actors who would go on to major careers. Among them, Samuel L. Jackson.
Great actor, Samuel Jackson. If you could see him right there, pointing up, Samuel Jackson. Look how many movies he's done. He was young, kind of young in this in 1989 also. He picked him because he knew he would perform well. And look at all the movies he's made. So he did a great job in picking this guy. Samuel Jackson, great actor.
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, he said, great actor. This guy, great actor.
Elroy Lindo, and many more.
Wesley Snipes, young guy, young cat coming up, maybe 30s, and A Man Called Hawk. One of the great actor. Look how far Wesley Snipes came at acting. So Avery Brooks picked the people, I believe, that he knew his show would do well.
A Man Called Hawk premiered on January 28, 1989 as a mid-season replacement, and the initial response was mixed. On the surface, the idea of a black vigilante lead was seen as bold and intriguing. The pilot episode drew curiosity from fans of Spencer for Hire, but the reaction from television critics and media analysts was more cautious. TV Guide's Meryl Panett praised Brooks' screen presence and the production value, writing that the show looked slick and noting Brooks' colorful interpretation of Hawk. But Panet criticized the writing for being formulaic, stating, "We've been fed so many crime shows by the networks that nothing the writers come up with seems original anymore."
The writers did well with this show. You know, they let Spencer for Hire do a lot of episodes. I don't know, 15 or 20, I believe. I could be exaggerating, but I don't think so. And the writers did well with that show. Why the writers couldn't do well with this show when he only got 13 episodes? So that's a bunch of nonsense. Let's go.
While Panet acknowledged the show tried to show Hawk's thoughtful and charitable sides, he still found the character lacking in dimension. His conclusion was,
his character was well written. He played the character well. So that's not true. You know, I believe Avery Brooks' character was great. You know, a lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of young people looked up to him, especially when I was growing up in '89. So that's that. I don't believe that. His character was well written, and they're saying it wasn't, but we all know it was. Let's go.
Blunt. While we may enjoy the way Brooks portrays Hawk, if you've seen one episode, you've seen them all. Others echoed that assessment. The New York Times' John J. O'Connor gave the premiere a lukewarm 6 out of 10.
He's this guy, he's a liar. He gave it only 6 out of 10 when we all know for a fact that it should have got a 10. And it should have made more episodes. So this guy, he didn't like the show. That's all.
Robert B. Parker, who had little to do with the series beyond a single credit, later dismissed the show publicly. In terms of viewership, the show failed to maintain momentum, and by the spring of 1989, A Man Called Hawk was tied for 63rd place in the weekly Nielsen.
And that's crazy. It shouldn't have been tied at 63rd place in the Nielsen report. You know, at that time, it should have been at least in the top 10. If they had to continue to let writers continue to make the show do well, but they didn't. They didn't want to see Avery Brooks do well at this. So they put him way in the back where they could cancel the show. Let's go.
Ratings. When the 1988 to 1989 TV season rankings were released, the show had plummeted to 80th place out of all net.
Wow, 80th place. When it was a good show. How does a show like that, like Hawk, that inspired so many people, be reviewed as 88th place in the Nielsen report? Let's go.
Network series, far below the threshold needed for renewal. As one columnist observed,
of course they wasn't going to renew it. They didn't want to see a powerful black person, I believe, do well on television at that time. And that's how they treated Avery Brooks. They felt that he didn't want him to be so powerful where he, had the power to be the person he was. And this is my reaction on it. And this is how I feel about it. So let's go.
Chances of cancellation increased dramatically for shows ranked between 50 and 70, and the only way a show ranked below 70 will survive is if its network is unusually committed to it. There was also organized pushback from conservative groups. The Reverend Donald Wildman and his Watchdog group targeted A Man Called Hawk alongside shows like Miami Vice and Tour of Duty.
Now, those shows were garbage. Miami Vice wasn't good. Hawk was way better than Miami Vice. A Man Called Hawk was way better than Tour of Duty. Another garbage show. Garbage.
Wildman condemned the show for high incidents of sex, violence, profanity, and urged advertisers to withdraw support. His group called the show vile and violent and immoral. Ironically, some viewers
But that's a lie. It was never violent. Hawk was always saving people, helping people, getting people out of predicaments that they were in. So it was never violent. So that's another thing they're wrong about. Let's go.
Held the opposite complaint that ABC had neutered Hawk's edge compared to his depiction in Spencer for Hire. As one commentator noted sarcastically, "My gripe was that it wasn't vile and violent and immoral enough." In the end, the show's initial reception was a clash of high expectations and uneven execution. Viewers and critics admired Avery Brooks's charisma and the cultural ambition behind the show, but weak scripts and poor ratings dragged it down.
Who fault was it? Weak scripts. They were writing weak scripts because they didn't want to see Hawk become powerful as he was on Spencer for Hire. So they wrote weak scripts to get rid of the show. We all know that, but they won't tell you that. Let's go.
The arrival of A Man Called Hawk brought a whirlwind to the DC area. The production spent about $1.3 million on each episode, and a lot of that money stayed in the district. Warner Brothers also agreed that 50% of the extras used were unemployed local residents. Filming touched nearly every corner of the city: Adams Morgan, Georgia Avenue, Capitol Hill, Civil Court, and even the district building. Crowds frequently gathered at locations, proud to see their neighborhoods on screen.
Show did well in Washington, D.C. That's where Hawk wanted to film it, and it made money. Like he just said, in Washington, it made money. People got paid. So for them to cancel it when they did was wrong. They could have made more episodes.
As one woman watching a shoot on Georgia Avenue explained, it was meaningful because most television depictions of Washington focused only on monuments. On set, Avery Brooks stood out, often dressed in black leather, calm and commanding.
He did stood out as a black person that with power. He looked it good. He dressed it nice. You know, the way he carried himself at that time. A lot of people wanted to be like him. I was one of them. I had friends of mine liked it the way he act. Wanted to, grew up in poor areas, poor communities at the time, liking the way he carried himself. And hope one day they can become that person that took care of his health, person that had a nice car, person that drove a nice car, looked it good, smart. It helped a lot of black people, especially in the poor neighborhoods. Let's go.
Amid the chaos of lights, cameras, and rerouted traffic, police redirected cars, vans lined the streets, and barriers held back curious spectators. One of the more ambitious shoots took the production to Gallaudet University, where the team spent 10 days filming an episode built around Hawk's relationship with two teens, one deaf, the other struggling to come to terms with his progressive hearing loss. University officials reviewed the script, students were used as extras, and the Gallaudet dancers appeared on screen. When the crew saw athletes with disabilities practicing on the track, they were also incorporated into the episode, reinforcing the show's commitment to representation. For many in the city, Hawk's presence carried a strong sense of pride.
It did. Pride. People respecting him, whether he was acting or not. So, and he went on to do more things, Star Trek and stuff. But in '89, he did a lot to help, people, especially the younger people. Let's go.
Residents recognized the rarity of seeing black neighborhoods and culture represented on primetime network television, and the excitement around filming was matched by the awareness that the opportunity might not last long.
They didn't want it to last long. It's not that it didn't last long. They didn't want it to last long because of the way he was. And as at this day, I feel they should have made more episodes of this the TV series. They made a lot of Spencer for Hire, like I said. Let's go.
Despite the attention it drew in Washington, A Man Called Hawk struggled to find a national audience. Ultimately, ABC pulled the plug after one season. The Saturday Times,
And that was crazy. He only did one season. But with Spencer, he had a lot of seasons he did. He still was the same person. So it didn't make sense to me. He just had his own show. Why did Spencer do so well? That's my reaction to this. Spencer for Hire did well, but why didn't Hawk do so well? He only got one season. Let's go.
time slot was a major problem. Saturday night television was a graveyard, and Hawk couldn't overcome it. Avery Brooks reprised the role in a series of Spencer television movies produced for Lifetime in the early 1990s. These included Spencer Ceremony in 1993, Spencer Pale Kings and Princes, and Spencer the
Right. All of these Spencers, he did a lot of episodes in all these Spencers. But why not in this? Why not in A Man Called Hawk? Don't make sense to me.
Judas Goat in 94, and Spencer A Savage Place in 1995. In each of these films, Hawk continued his familiar role as Spencer's formidable ally, keeping the spirit of the character alive beyond the original shows. When Brooks moved on to Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the shadow of Hawk still followed him. Producers initially required him to keep his hair rather than return to Hawk's iconic bald look, so the distinction between Hawk and Captain Sisko was clear to viewers. Only in the show's fourth season was he allowed to appear bald again, which he described as reclaiming his own identity on screen. Hawk returned again at the end of the decade, though played by different actors. When A&E began adapting Robert B. Parker's novels into made-for-TV movies, Hawk appeared in Spencer Small Vices and later in Walking Shadow. The character did return to the screen in 2020 with the Netflix original film Spencer Confidential, directed by Peter Berg. Loosely based on Parker's characters, it reimagined Spencer as a younger ex-cop played by Mark Wahlberg.
But like I said, he did well with Spencer. Mark Wahlberg did a movie on Netflix, Spencer. But this is not about Spencer so much. This is about Avery Brooks playing Hawk.
With Winston Duke as Hawk. A Man Called Hawk has never received an official home video release. Fans have kept it alive through bootlegs and collector sets that circulate online. For a while, the full series was available for free on Tubi, but it was pulled from the service in 2020.
Right, Tubi pulled it. Why? Why Tubi pulled it? Tubi had it, and they pulled it.
4. Some episodes occasionally surface on YouTube or through fan uploads, but the quality varies, and the show remains difficult to access in any consistent or official form. The lack of availability has left A Man Called Hawk in an unusual position, remembered for its ambition and cultural weight, but largely absent from the TV nostalgia market. So why did A Man Called Hawk barely last a season? It had the style, the vision, and a lead
It did. It had the style of vision and everything. So why did it only last? We know why it didn't last. They didn't want to see a powerful black person, and I'm sorry to say that, continue to do well.
Like anything else on television, the audience didn't stay and the network moved on. And if you want to see how another show faced its own struggles and then became the most watched series in the world, stick around for our video on Baywatch. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome.
Okay. Well, I'm going to end that because we all know why a man called Hawk didn't make it. You know, one season, uh, why he only was able to get one season when he was on Spencer for Hire, and he did, I don't know, a lot of seasons, 10 seasons, five to 10 seasons, I guess, movies, because he was on Spencer for Hire, and the Man Called Hawk show was great. It was a great show. It should have did more than one season, but they didn't want to see, I guess, a black person do so well as he done. So I had to react to that. I like A Man Called Hawk, and I'm going to react to some more of his videos because it seems like my channel does well when it comes to him. And I'm going to do some more reaction videos about him, and I'm going to end the stream on that. But yeah, A Man Called Hawk, man, great show. Should have got more than one season, and we all know why he didn't get but one season. You know, they claim the writing was weak, and the writing could have been better if they wanted it to. It was good for Spencer for Hire. The writing was well written. I like Spencer for Hire. It was a good show. I watched all his episodes too with Spencer. So um, yeah, I don't have much to say about it, but it's just that I believe he could have did better. He could have got a few seasons. He had great actors. He had upcoming good actors. Wesley Snipes, Angela Bassett. He had a lot of great actors. So um, that's my opinion on it, and I'm going to end this stream. Hope you guys enjoyed my reaction video. I'm going to try to see if I could do some more on The Man Called Hawk, and you guys just stay tuned, and hope you enjoyed the reaction video. Good night.